to another episode of Token Punch Lunch. Now, as you may have already deduced because of the title, this is our final episode of Token Punch Lunch. It has been a great ride. We do have a lot of cool things coming up in the future. Z and I are going to be sharing duty of a kind of a live board game breakfast that's going to happen around, I believe, on Thursdays. He'll take 1 week and then I'll take the next, and so forth and so on. So the variety show involvement that he and I are both going to have are still going to be there. It just won't be our own show, so to speak. It'll be a bunch of contributors that are going to be still sending in their stuff, some of them from his show, some of them from mine, that will be playing their clips on that live version of the show. So we're not going away. We're just losing a little bit of the individuality, I guess you could say, that both Blender and Token Punch Lunch have been ascribed over the last couple of years. But wow, 61 episodes. I never thought that it would go that far, actually. Be honest with you. I didn't think that it would last that long. But it's been fun. We've had a lot of great things that come forth. Some of my favorite segments have been the Canvas videos, where I was able to highlight specific people within our hobby. And you know, not that they were, you know, big to-dos or anything like that. They were just normal, regular gamers. And I love doing that. I love showcasing what people are doing within the hobby. A lot of it was painting-centric, and some of it wasn't. So I do really enjoy that specific segment. I think that was my favorite one over the course of the years. But we've had a lot of great contributors coming through, and I don't want to name anybody because I know if I start naming people, I'm going to forget somebody, and that's going to go over not well. And so I don't want to say that. But I do want to thank all of my contributors that have been consistent, and even the ones that haven't been consistent. If you sent anything in at any point, I want to thank you for it, because you've made Token Punch Lunch, or Throat Punch Lunch, what it used to be called, what it was. And so I really do want to thank everybody. It has been a great ride. But we do have one more episode for you, and we have a lot of great contributors that send in segments. So let's get to it.
Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and I'm here to bring you another episode of SoloThrash, Amerithrash gaming for those of us who like to play alone. Like a lot of you, I'll be traveling for Christmas, and that means that I'm going to be at my parents' house all of next week, something I'm really excited about, but I'm also going to be missing my game collection, so I'm going to tell you what I'll be traveling with this week. Probably the bulkiest game I'm going to be traveling with is Wars of Marcus Aurelius, which I talked about on here a couple of weeks ago. But Wars of Marcus Aurelius is a very flat box. What I'm hoping is that I'm going to be able to fit it in my suitcase along the bottom and then just put clothes on top of it so it stays safe during travel. For the plane itself, I'm actually going to be bringing Metro X, Tokyo and Osaka. This is one of my favorite roll and write games, but I really like it because it's not technically a roll and write. It's a draw cards and write game. So it's tiny. It's going to fit on an airport or airplane tray table, but also I'm not going to annoy anybody around me by rolling dice because I can draw cards instead. So for right now, Metro X is probably my favorite airplane game. And since I'm not going to be alone the whole time for Christmas, I'm also going to be packing Diamonds. This is a trick-taking game. It's very easy to teach, especially to people who have already played hearts and spades. And the last time I brought it out, my parents had a really good time. So I'm hoping that if I bring this, I'll be having some family gaming as well this season. As for you, no matter where you're gaming or who you're doing it with, I hope you have a fantastic holiday and happy gaming.
Hi guys, I'm Jona, and today I'm going to review a board game. I know, I'm actually going to do it, review a modern board game. I've never done this before, and let me tell you, I picked a doozy. Spirit Island, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and that's because it's the game I've played the most over the past year. My husband and I play this game a whole lot. And it's also a game I was kind of surprised I haven't seen on anyone's top 100 list of their favorite games this year. am a little confused. I thought this was like a really cool, hardcore gamers game. I think the problem is that people reviewing board games don't have time to really play this enough to appreciate it. So that's why I'm going to talk about it. First of all, I'm just going to quickly show you what this game looks like in case you're not familiar with it. This is the island of Spirit Island. And these are the different characters, the different spirits that you can control and play. They have different strengths and abilities. You start off with a small deck of cards for each spirit. And over the course of the game, you gain energy and you can add powers to your deck of cards. And this will make you more deadly and more terrifying to all of the invaders that have come onto the island to take it over. Right here is what I like to call the game console, and this will show us what will happen over the course of the game. Each round, there are 3 phases. There's an exploring phase, a build phase, and a ravage phase. Now up here are the fear tokens that you can generate throughout the course of the game. Basically, whenever you do anything to damage these guys, you get a fear token. When you get so many of those, you get to flip over these fear cards. If you flip them all over, you win. And they also give you really great benefits. So I think the reason why a lot of people are turned off from this game is because it comes across too fiddly and complex. The little pieces you have to put out on the different phases and the whole mechanic with the flipping the cards and having the different exploring phases can be a little overwhelming. Also generating your fear. If you fail to do all of that and get all your fear that you deserve, that might really ruin the game for you, and it will cause you to lose if you don't get your fear cards flipped over. So that's one aspect of the game that I think people get tripped up on that you really resolve by just playing it more and getting used to the mechanics of it. The other thing that's really difficult about this game is the fact that your spirits start out kind of slow and weak in different ways. They are kind of godlike, but they don't work to their full potential until you all start working together as a team. And I think that's what's brilliant about Spirit Island. The invaders come at you like full force from the very get-go. The very first round, they're coming at you and they don't slow down the entire game. But as spirits, you really have to generate power slowly and work together, figuring out where you're weak and where your other person's weak and how you can work together to really beat back the enemy. And that is why it's the perfect co-op game. The strong theme and story of Spirit Island just comes across naturally as a team working collaborative game. And it's so much fun to play because you don't have to work your imagination at all to feel what the spirits might be feeling. And when you finally get to full power together and you can just wipe out a whole area of those bad guys, it feels so awesome. And the fact that you did it together just makes it better. That's why I love it. I just think they achieve that cooperative feeling so well. And the fact that it's difficult makes you grow with the game. And the game has so much diversity to it. You can really change it every time you play, that it doesn't get old as you get better at it. It just gets better. That's my review. I would encourage you, if you played Spirit Island and didn't like it, maybe give it another chance. And if you guys are Spirit Island fans, please leave comments and share what you have experienced. If you'd like to see more videos about playing Spirit Island, my husband's going to be doing a beginner's guide to the spirits, kind of going over how to play them, what we've learned that works best, and that will be on my YouTube channel, Almost a Board Gamer. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
Well, hey folks, this is going to be a segment where I'm just going to show you some of the games that I've got on my docket to play over the next few weeks. And, this is going to be more of the Sam's show and tell, I guess. And so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We've got some, this little expansion right here is a new expansion for Celestia. It is called A Little Initiative, and I know nothing about the game, but I really do enjoy Celestia. It's one of my favorite games to play, as far as very light-hearted, almost party-esque type of game. And I like it when they come out with little expansions like this. So looking forward to giving this one a try. Celestia, A Little Initiative. Then we also have a new release expansion that's coming out from Everything Epic Games, and it's an expansion for Big Trouble in Little China, The Legacy of Lo Pan. Now this, you may have heard me talk about this before because this actually came in the deluxe version of the original release of the game, the one that came in like a gold box. But if you got the white box version of Big Trouble in Little China, this was not included. And so this is now becoming available very soon, and we're going to be giving this one a whirl so that I can do a review on it as well, because I haven't played this version of it. It provides a time-traveling aspect to the game, which is intriguing to me. So looking forward to giving this one a whirl. Also have this one that we just got back from Essen. It's called Mini World War II. It is a game that's put out by the Formosa Force Games, and it looks interesting. I didn't get to play it at Essen, but I got to take a look at it, and it was explained to me, and I was very interested in it. So I'm glad we finally got this one back. It's basically a 90-minute war game between 4 different world powers. So it looks really cool. I'm really hoping that it follows through on my expectations. Also have one that also picked up at Essen called Cave-In. Now this is one that I actually brought back with me. I've had it. I played it once, but it was a while ago, so I got to play it again before I do the actual review of it. But this is from Hexy Studio, and it's called Star Scrappers Cave-In, and it looks really good. I cannot remember a whole lot. So much has happened since between now and then. But I don't remember a whole lot of my play, but I do remember that I enjoyed it. I just needed to play it again to see why. So that's going to be hitting the table here pretty soon too. We also have this one from Strawberry Studios, the family line of NSKN games. It's called Black Skull Island, and this is just a card game where you're trying to get the most points, the most loot, the most gold pieces. So it looks very simple, which is what Strawberry Studios line is all about, but it also looks very nice as well. I love the artwork, and I think it's going to be a fun game as well, so we'll get that to the table, and I'll be letting you know. Also got this one from Backspindle Games. This one's called Ninja Squad. Now this is has 2 modes I believe you can play it in, or you can play them both back to back, where there's an infiltration mode that takes place during the evening or night, and then there is a mode where you are trying to escape before dawn. And I believe just by perusing the rulebook you can play either mode, or you can play them both together. So I'm looking forward to this. It's got a really nice looking components, and I think the gameplay looks pretty interesting as well. So we'll see how it goes. We'll let you know. Also got this one in from Essen, Atlantis, the Island of the Gods. And this is where you're basically trying to build a pyramid to your specific deity before everybody else does, and be the first person and get the most points, that type of stuff. But it looks like a resource management kind of game, maybe. But it's very small, of course you can tell, the small package. But it looks interesting. Artwork is great as well. So we'll see. And then finally, I've been really looking forward to getting this one to the table, Robin Hood and the Merry Men. I was able to give this one a try at Essen, but it was a truncated game. We didn't get all the way through it, but we played about half of a game, and I really enjoyed all of the things that were there. It's a semi-cooperative game, but you can also play full co-op or solo mode as well. You're basically just trying to, in a co-op mode, last, I believe it's 4 or 5 rounds without losing the game, and I don't know about the solo variant, haven't looked at that one, but you do have those 3 modes available to you: solo, full co-op, or semi-co-op. So I'm really looking forward to getting this to the table. We'll see how it goes, but that's it for me. Let's get back to the rest of your lunch.
Hey everyone, this is Tim Jennette the Metal Meeple, and this is the Budget Board Game Breakdown. So here we are, the final episode of Token Punch Lunch, or Throat Punch Lunch, whatever you want to refer to it as. And it's been a thrill. It's been awesome. I'm really appreciative that I got to join the show, and I want to thank Sam for starting it. I want to thank Tom for allowing it to happen and just allowing me to be more of a part of the Dice Tower. It's been awesome. Years ago, what was it, 2013 or 2014 at this point, I approached Tom and wanted to do some reviews because I really liked his stuff, and I like teaching games. I like just being a teacher in general. And he said, cool, send me an audition. I did, and I've been making reviews ever since. Been slightly on a hiatus recently and missed a couple of the episodes of Token Punch Lunch because I had my second child. His name is Drexel Jennette, and he's awesome. He's a tiny little baby, 6 pounds, 12 ounces. He's just really sweet. And yeah, so it's been fun, and I'm coming back for the last episode here and just wanted to bid you guys a farewell. Thanks for joining me at my segment. Hopefully you've learned some cool stuff. Hopefully this budget board game stuff has been kind of interesting to know about. Because you can game on the cheap, right? Not that I actually game on the cheap a lot. I just do it out of just treasure hunting practice, because I like to find things for good deals. Not that, I'm trying to budget my gaming and stuff, but it's just been awesome to do. So anyway, a couple episodes ago, I had a card trick that I showed you with a deck of cards. And I want to show you one more as a parting gift. One that you can perform. You don't need to have any kind of sleight of hand or know a lot about magic tricks in general. This is the first trick I learned, and I still perform it today. I think it has a really good impact on the viewer, and it's just really fun to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a standard deck of playing cards. You're going to walk up to somebody, and you're going to give it a shuffle. Show them that no shenanigans are happening, and you're going to have them choose a card. So here we're going to choose this one. What is that? The Four of Hearts. Now, obviously, you wouldn't know what this card is. They're going to take it from the deck, right? And we're going to put half the deck on the table. And once you get done seeing what this card is, you can put it face down on top of that deck. Thank you. Now, we're going to take the rest of the deck and put it on top, losing it within this deck. And we're going to give it a series of cuts just so you know that it is buried within this deck. So now if I wanted to, if you were here, I would hand you the deck and have you do that as well. Once you hand the deck back to me, I'm going to take this deck, and I need 2 assistants. And what I'm going to do is find 2 of my favorite cards, one of which is the classic Ace of Spades, and I'm going to use its counterpart, the Ace of Clubs. So I'm going to look through this deck. I'm going to find, here's the Ace of Clubs, and we're also going to find the Ace of Spades. Now, we're going to take the deck, and we're going to line it with both these cards. We're going to put, let's just say, put the Ace of Spades on the bottom, and we're going to put the Ace of Clubs on the top, but we're going to offset it so that you can actually see both cards surrounding the deck. Now, if you're here, I would have you say out loud to these cards what your card is, and they would retrieve it from the deck. Now, this is a super easy trick to do, and I think it is really impressive because it's just bam, it's there, right? What you do, we have the deck, we have our search card, which is going to be the bottom of the deck. When you walk up to somebody and you do a shuffle, it takes a little bit of practice, but you want to make sure that that card stays on bottom. Now, when you go up to somebody and you actually have them select a card, it truly is random. They are picking one from the deck at their own will. Now, obviously, you want to fan it out and have them select it. That way you can maintain the bottom card as your search card. At that point, you're going to take half the deck as they're looking at this card, take the top half and put it on the table, have them take the selected card and put it on top of that. That way, this packet has your search card on the bottom, which puts it next to their card. Now, when you start doing the series of cuts, and the reason we don't do a shuffle, because it would totally randomize it, but if you do a series of cuts, you're not really going to cut it enough to matter. And then you can start looking through the deck as you tell them what cards you want to use. I like to use 2 of the same cards. I have a couple of different things. I might say, let's find the crazy 8s and do that. You can actually have, if you get good at it, you can have them select the cards, because it doesn't matter which 2 cards you pick, because you're going to find theirs by looking through the deck. And you can do this out in front of them. You just want to do it kind of quick so it doesn't seem like you're looking for anything. But we're going to go through and we're going to look for the Ace of Clubs, and we're going to look through for the Ace of Spades. But you'll notice that their card's next to it. You just want to break it. Typically, as you're fanning through, you'll hold their card back with your finger like this so that their card is right there. That way you know that you have a break right there, right? And you make it look kind of natural. But at the very end, you break it apart and put it together like so that their card is on top. And at that point, you're just going to align the deck like we showed, one on bottom, one on top. The reason we offset it, and we tell them that we're offsetting it so that they can see the card, but really we're putting our thumb across both these cards like this to have friction on their selected card. And as we toss it out of our hand, it actually will grab their card and pull it off like that. And then you have their revealed card. It looks really cool whenever they pick like a red card and both your cards are black, but it really doesn't matter. They see their card and it looks neat. So hopefully that was a good description of this. I've never really taught card tricks on camera or anything before. I really don't even teach them anyway. I just perform them and try not to tell everybody all the secrets, because otherwise you can't really perform them on people. So it helps not to let people know your tricks, because it's like the Matrix. You want them to take the pill that's going to keep them in the Matrix and keep them entertained. Whereas if they take the other pill and ask you, how you did the trick and you show them, it kind of dissolves a lot of the fun for other tricks, because most tricks use some of the same techniques here and there. So anyway, I thought that one was really cool. No sleight of hand, very easy to do. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at timjennette@gmail.com. Follow me on social media. Check out my podcast, Meeplecore, if you're looking for something that I do outside of the Dice Tower. And yeah, until next time, keep on rocking and rolling dice.
Hey, welcome to Token Punch Lunch. My name is Bobby, and this is These Totally Geeky Games, where I make recommendations of games for those geeky friends of ours with interests outside of our hobby. So it does look like this is the last Token Punch Lunch that I'll be participating in, but no worries, no need to be sad. I'll still be sticking around, and I'll be in other videos around the Dice Tower. If you do want to follow me, though, there is a Twitter that I've haven't been very active in, just because I don't use Twitter that much, but I'm going to try to be more active in it in the future, so you can follow me there. The interest this week being anybody that's excited for the Infinity War movie, which is pretty much everybody. And this week I'm going to show you footage of us playing Thanos Rising. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bobby, and we're here playing Thanos Rising. Who are you? What's your name?
I'm Jen. I'm Sarah.
That's my wife, by the way.
I'm the neighbor.
Yay! Hey, we're here playing Thanos Rising. So, we'll see if we can beat Thanos. Alright, we're gonna cut. 1, 2, 3. So, after first round, I'm not doing that well. I only still have Gamora on my team. Thanos is this much closer to getting at least 3 Infinity Stones. Jen, how are you doing?
Not doing well. I didn't get anything.
You didn't get anybody? And then Sarah?
I'm doing pretty well because I did get Groot. So
yay!
A good thing.
You're filling out the Guardians with Thor being
Thor,
and the leader.
And I get a bonus.
A little pirate angel. No! You got the blue stone. Which means, okay, so from now on, whenever the blue stone gets rolled, add 1 damage to each of the active heroes with the least damage. Good job, Sarah.
Thanks. I got a lot of damage.
We just won. Woo! Everybody, we win. We win.
We win.
I like how you got Thor's weapon and his brother.
I did.
Very nice. We win. I got Spider-Man and all these other people. We win. Beat you, Thanos.
Hi and welcome, we're Boardgame Opinions. My name's Steve Rain.
I'm Jonathan Hicks.
And I'm Matt Windle. And in this video we're going to go through our Hotness. It's the game we most want to play currently. It might be a game that's not quite yet out, a game we've just had delivered and not played yet, or a game we played a few weeks ago and we thought, yeah, I'd like to go back and revisit that. So my Hotness in this video is Gugong, or Guzhong. It is a game that Jonathan brought back from Essen. It is a game, a heavy Euro game, a deep thinky Euro game that takes quite a while because people are really planning out their moves. You've got loads of choices on your turn. It's a card placement game, and the interesting mechanic about it is when you're playing your cards, you're trying to play cards that are higher than the cards on the board. So I might play a 7 on that 5 there. I take the action on that spot. But that 5 becomes my hand next time. So you've got loads of different things. On the 7 there's an ability, the place you're putting there's an ability. There's all these different things you're trying to do, and you're trying to do it as efficient as you can to get points.
It does the Euro combination thing so well. There's so much to think about because
this card might give you a great ability, but you can't play it on the action spot where you really want to take the actions. It's like, oh, if I want to take this other action, I need this other card, but then the action on the card isn't quite as good. So the interplay between the actions on the cards and the actions on the board is really interesting. And then as you say, you add in the cards you get for your hand for next time, and suddenly the combinations explode. Lots to think about.
Yeah, it's super deeply thinky, but that works very so well with it because there's so much different things going on the board. And then you say, because of those card play, do I want to do that action now, or can I hold off? Will somebody take that spot before I get there? All that sort of stuff just means you're always kind of looking around, going, I remember sort of what cards you got last turn. Am I okay to hold on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played it once. Would love to play it again. My choice is a Kickstarter. It's arrived for me a couple of weeks ago, called Vindication, and it's still in shrink. I've had so many games brought back from Essen that I've been playing through. I haven't got round to opening this one yet. Backed it last year and was super excited about this one. It's a heavy Euro, kind of. There's an area control element, so it's quite abstract, but you're gathering resources, bit of engine buildings, quite a lot of interactivity in the game. But it's one that's, again, really thinky. Love the artwork in this one. Production quality is very high. Following along when the Kickstarter came out originally, I was just really, really excited about this one. So very keen to break this open, get reading on the rules, pop out all the components. You know, that kind of new game feeling. This is the one that's really ticking the boxes for me right now. Heavy Euro, you say? I'm in. You will like this one.
I think heavy box by the looks of things. There's going to be a lot of cardboard in that. My one for me is Arkham Horror 3rd Edition. I enjoyed 2nd edition. It was too long. Eldritch Horror was good. I liked some things it introduced, but I didn't like the globe-trotting. This goes away with that, goes straight back to the more personal, I'm going around the streets of Arkham, which I much prefer the theme. It takes the good bits from Eldritch Horror, such as the theme related to what you're doing, like the game, so that I am trying to accomplish different things depending on who I'm fighting. But most of all for me, I find it just that little bit more thinking than the previous ones. There are things that it's taken from other Euros, such as a refreshing of where Doom tokens go on the board and stuff. That means that I think you actually plan and cooperate much stronger than I've done the previous ones. And so I thought I'd like it, but I think I enjoyed it much more than expected. And that's why I want to go back and try some of those other scenarios.
In terms of mechanisms, it is a significantly better game, I think, than the 2nd edition. But as you say, it somehow manages to retain all the theme. I don't know how it does it. The thing I liked about the 2nd edition, despite the fact it was long, is it felt like this epic experience. It still feels like an epic experience, despite being significantly shorter, much tighter, much better mechanisms. It's kind of the best of all worlds, really. It's certainly the best of all the versions of Arkham, I think, that have come out.
Does it still play single player?
You still play single player?
You quite like that.
Yeah, I really like playing the 2nd edition solo, actually, although I don't play many solo games, but it's highly suitable to solo play.
And would I like it?
You might give it a go. I'm not so sure.
Okay. It has an element of pandemic in it, which is quite interesting. Okay. I really like that. Alright, so they're the 3 games that we have for our Hotness this month, the games we most want to play. We're probably going to at least try and get all 3 of them played before Christmas, we hope so. Really looking forward to playing Vindication, Jonathan, so open it up after this video, I'm sure. Anyway, I've been Steve Rain.
I'm Jonathan Hicks.
And I'm Model.
And we've been Board Game Opinions.
See you.
I'm Jona, and my husband and I just got back from our first gaming convention at PAX Unplugged. It was an exciting experience. We got there and we had a lot of expectations, and then we just took it all in and felt kind of overwhelmed and lost because we didn't know anyone, not really. We did get to meet some of the Dice Tower people, which was awesome. They were really friendly, and I even got to help out at the booth a little bit. There was so many people playing games, and we didn't know anyone. So we went and picked out a game, and we put a little sign on our table to see if anyone would join us. And we felt kind of like losers. Maybe it was a mistake to come here for 3 days. Maybe we're done. But you know what? Someone came right up in a few minutes, and we met our first new friend. His name was Steven. And then another gamer came up. His name was Mark, and it turned out he is an aspiring designer, and we actually got to play test one of his games the next day. It turned out to be a really awesome game, and we would have never played it if we hadn't gone out on a limb and just said, hey, will anyone play with us? I'm so glad we did, because we actually ended up playing another game that was being tested by another designer, which was awesome. It was one of the best games we played the whole convention, and it's not even published yet. So it was just a really cool aspect to the convention that neither my husband and I expected. And that's what I want to share with you, that gaming conventions seem like this really hardcore thing to do as a gamer, and maybe you feel like you're not there yet, or maybe your friends go or your spouse goes and you just don't feel like there's a place for you. I want to tell you that gaming conventions are one of the most friendly places to go. By and large, like, there were thousands of people at this convention, and people were polite and friendly and eager to help. And if you just went out on a limb a little bit and said, hey, I want to play a game, there were multiple people that were willing to play with you. It was like, it's one of the best places to go if you're getting into the hobby. At least PAX is. I know other gaming conventions aren't the same way. There's different aspects to them that they're more structured, or there's less free play, but PAX is 50% play. Like, when you go into the convention, half of the room is separated into vendors and the other half is tables, and there's this awesome library with all these really great games to try. Everyone is there for the same purpose, to have fun and play games. And on top of it, PAX is in Philly, and there's all these great places to check out food-wise. My husband and I went to the farmer's market, and we went to Chinatown. We got to check out this little bakery with these little Japanese buns, and they were so good. So my husband was really cool about going out and adventuring with me and not just staying behind a table the whole time. We just had a blast, and every time we were kind of low and oh, who are we going to play with? We would run into new friends, and I think that's the main thing. We bought a stack of games, but I'm more proud of my stack of friends. I know that's really cheesy. Probably shouldn't say that. Thanks for watching the Token Punch Lunch. I hope everybody has a great day and enjoyed this little video.
Hi everyone, Luke Hector, Broken Meeple here. Sam's already explained everything I suppose you already know from Tom Vassel's Kickstarter video as well. Token Punch Lunch is ending. What? It's been a good run though. I've been here since it used to be called Throat Punch Lunch, ever since before the fiasco with changing the title. And, I've been trying to do various content, but the starting tile took off quite well. And I was quite pleased with how it turned out. People were giving positive feedback on it. And it was just a nice run of videos to do. It's, it's sad to see Token Punch Lunch finally end, but, it's at least good to know that there's still going to be that double board game breakfast idea that Tom Vassell has mentioned on his Kickstarter preview video. As for what's going to happen to me, well, Tom did put out the word to say which contributors would like to help out with the double breakfast, and I said, yeah. I enjoy doing these videos, and granted, as I'm trying to get season 3 of my current content down, it's a little bit, shall we say, hard to keep up with it all. But these new board game breakfast shows sound pretty good. I haven't read all the guidelines of what we're supposed to be doing, but I grasp that we are effectively doing really short videos, 2 to 3 minutes, and it'll be sort of alternating when they're on. The only thing I have to figure out now is what topic to do. That's the hard bit. It's been good to do all this gateway level stuff, and it's been fun to do, but I've run out of content to really think about doing with it, apart from, talking about tips for gateway gamers, which I'm glad some of you liked. So when I go on Board Game Breakfast, I will probably need to think of a new topic. No idea what. Feel free to suggest something in the comments. Obviously, I've only got the confines of what I do. I was thinking of something maybe like Cult of the Old, Cult of the New sort of area. Or maybe, I was also thinking maybe take my idea from one more game from my podcast. Is where I talk about a game I've had in the collection for a long period of time, and I basically say, all right, how's this stood the test of time? After all these plays, do I still love it, or do I want to get rid of it? You know, that kind of thing. So maybe I'll do a little quick segment on that, 2 to 3 minutes. Who knows? I'd like to hear some of your ideas. You know, if you listen to my content, whether it's podcast or the videos, is there anything related to that I could do in 2 to 3 minutes? I don't know. Send me your thoughts. But for now, just thank you for giving Token Punch Lunch the support it deserves, you know, including all the other contributors on this channel, on this video. You know, they all deserve praise for what they do. Not just, you know, it's not just me, it's Ambi and everybody else who puts in a good, solid effort to keep this running. But also, just thank you for listening and watching and commenting. You know, if you watched this segment and enjoyed it, then I'm glad. Thank you. It was all worth it. So, that's it from me. Signing off, not permanently. You know, you can still check me out on my usual channel, The Broken Meeple, podcast, video, whatever. You know, season 3 is starting to get underway. But when things start kicking off with the new board game breakfast format, I hope you'll see me there as well. So take care, and as always, remember my motto, it's only a game.
And so that's that. Another episode of Token Punch Lunch in the books, and with it, the end of an era. Whether it was a good era or not, you'll be the judge of that. But I don't want to be too final here, though, because we could also put a to be continued thing here, because Z and I are both still going to be involved in those live board game breakfasts that are going to be happening on Thursdays. So please do continue to tune into those. A lot of the contributors that have been on Throat Punch or Token Punch Lunch will also be taking part in sending in and continuing to send in segments for the live blender, or I'm sorry, the live breakfast, and some of the blender contributors are going to continue sending in segments as well. So we're not going away, we're just changing our format, and I want to make sure that's absolutely clear. But I want to thank everybody for joining us over this live. 61 episodes is a great achievement, and I want to thank everybody for that. And I want to thank all of my contributors one last time, because you guys have made the show what it is. I just put stuff together. So I want to thank you for it, and I hope that we can continue to work together in the future. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to sign off here for the last Token Punch Lunch, but we'll see you on the Board Game Breakfast Live. Take care now. See you on the flip side.
Fatality.